one last thing I want to bring up with specifically Christopher Nolan.
You don't like his haircut?
No, he's been universally praised as like one of the golden directors of our generation.
Don't say
right?
it, Juno.
And he's hit many,
He is.
right, and he's had many great hits.
Yes.
But
90% of them.
Is he now potentially with
No.
Tenet, with Dunkirk, good but not great movies, at least universally considered? Is he starting to see a little bit of the natural downturn?
I
in his
think
career?
what we call that, Arjun, for film directors in Hollywood specifically,
It's
called
Spielberg.
No, it's called the M. Night Shyamalan face.
Oh, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Spielberg had the same thing happen to Spielberg.
Yes,
Spielberg hasn't
absolutely.
made a good movie since 99? 2000?
I mean, his 90s hits, don't get me wrong, he has a lot of great hits in the 90s.
God, he
but it
could not
really-
miss, just like Will Smith in the 2000s. Couldn't miss.
Well,
and now
the
look at him.
90s, yeah.
Now look at him. Bums. Yeah.
Bumpkins.
Christopher Nolan, you're a bum.
But I mean, look, it happens to everybody in every
course.
industry, right? You have a time where you dominate and then you eventually fall off in some way, shape, or form. Whether you're an athlete, whether you're a pastry chef, it just happens, right?
I think, though, the part of the problem with Christopher Nolan, though, as a human being, and we living in the world we do, where it's very heavily focused on media, the comments that he has made, they're going to live with him and be there for the remainder of his career. So
yeah, but he's Christopher Nolan.
he is basically like this movie, how it came out, how it's being perceived, the pandemic. He is, he's a number of steps backwards now.
Yeah.
And whenever his next film comes out, it is going to be so harshly and looked at with a fine
Let me ask this
microscope or whatever I can't come up with these fucking phrases.
Fine-tooth comb.
Question. Let me ask this question though. To be quite honest, has he actually faced the backlash that he deserves?
No.
Because from us, he has. We've bashed him every time. I don't get the sense that people are hating on him as much as you think they are.
I don't think it's,
Which means then the backlash for his next movie isn't going to be there.
it's the film critics.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not seeing it.
It's some of how certain articles are presenting him or portraying him, and then also his comments and everything he's being saying against Warner Brothers.
Okay.
It's a big. He's picking a fight with Hollywood as a whole, which is never a bad thing.
Also,
Changes things up.
And here's the other thing. We've talked about this on this podcast. The film industry is going to be very different. And think about his movies have become more and more expensive. They've become bigger budget. These big theatrical pieces that need the theater to get the full experience. And I think if there's one thing people can agree about with Tenet, it would be best seen on a big screen, right?
Yeah.
Does he, if he continues to put out that type of movie that he's now used to he's been making for the last 15 plus years, where it's this big cinema spectacle, he needs to potentially change his style. His style might not fit the times in a year or two.
Go back to making like Memento style films. Yeah. Those are interesting. They are simple to make. They have a very cool and impactful like concept. Those are the types of films that I like. Those are the ones that you leave and you're like, whoa, right? A Tenet is like pompous.
The problem is you only have so many good ideas in your brain, and then you use them all up, and you never see them.
Collaborate with other individuals. Then
why?
Go back and work with your brother.
Nolan. He's a pompous ass.
Well, there we go.
You
Then
said it. Not
pompous.
me. Your words.
Pompous.